This is the June 15th, 2023 Planning Commission for the City of Madison. Let's see. Before we do roll call, let me, I guess, go ahead and make one introduction since we have a correction to the agenda. Dustin Riddle is going to be joining us. Cameron Grounds has retired, and so welcome, Dustin. So we can go ahead and do a roll call.
Mr. Wesson?
Here.
Mr. Potter? Mr. Ryder?
Here.
Mr. Riddle?
Here.
Mr. Brooks?
Here.
Mrs. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Cottle?
Here.
Mr. Seifert? Mrs. Palmer?
Here.
All right, we have a quorum, and Ryder and Riddle, that's going to get fun when we do the votes, right, back to back.
I'm sure you can manage it.
Y'all can figure it out. All right. Acceptance of the agenda. So, of course, we have the correction with Mr. Riddle replacing Cameron Grounds. And then I also have a note that we're going to have performance bonds here for 3 Park Preserve under new business. Any other additions or corrections? All right, we'll move forward as published with those updates. Next item is approval of the minutes from the May 18th, 2023 meeting. Any additions or corrections?
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Potter? Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Riddle?
Aye.
Mr. Brooks?
Abstain.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Cottle?
Aye.
Mrs. Palmer?
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. Next item is public comments for any item that is not under the public hearing tonight. Of note, the Sherwin-Williams is not part of that. Otherwise, if it pertains to Bella Woods or Intergraph North Campus, we'll have you hold your comments at that time. So at this point, I'll open up for public comments for any item not under public hearings. Seeing that there are none, we'll move forward with the first item on the agenda under public hearings. That's the Intergraph North Campus certified plat for 1 lot and 1 common area on 2.41 acres. Is the applicant here and wish to address the commission? All right, Johnny.
This subdivision is located at the northeast intersection of Wall Triana and Graphics Drive, and it's zoned urban center, and it consists of basically subdividing the property to create common area A, and the reason for that is that the developer wants to maintain ownership and control of the common area so that entrance into town Madison can be, they would have control so they could maintain the landscape and the beauty of the entrance. And that's really all it is. And we recommend approval with contingencies, and those are just a few signatures you see there.
All right, thank you. At this point, I'll open up for public comments. Seeing that there are none, comments from the commission?
Move to approve, subject to contingencies.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Riddle?
Aye.
Mr. Brooks?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Cottle?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Next item under public hearings is Bellawood Phase 3 preliminary plat for 28 lots on 35.62 acres. Is the applicant here and wish to address the commission?
Good evening, Planning Commission. Donnie Spencer, representing Deltina Development here tonight. We have for your consideration the 28-lot Phase 3 of Bellawood's subdivision. There is a reduction in the lots in this phase based on us having to relay out, based on having trouble lot fits in these smaller lots. So there is a reduction that does not represent what the original layout plat showed and the phasing plan showed in our development agreement. I just want to bring that to your attention. This phase will actually make our second connection point out into to Huntsville-Browns Ferry Road for the community. This phase has no trees that we have to deal with, and we've actually already done some of our tree mitigation in this phase. I think we planted 38 trees in this phase based on trees that were removed in Phase 1. So we're ahead of the ball game as far as our tree mitigation goes. I'll be glad to take any questions y'all have.
All right, thank you. Johnny do his presentation and then.
As you can see, this property is the western property, and when it was rezoned and it came in a little bit after the other, and it was part of a layout amendment for this area. And all the areas zoned RC2, and as Mr. Spencer said, there's 28 lots. The smallest lot is 8,850 square feet. The average lot size in this area is 10,669 square feet. There's there'll be one street constructed. It's 1,003 linear feet. There'll be a temporary cul-de-sac put in at the north end for turnarounds for fire trucks and garbage trucks and other type large vehicles, and it will ultimately serve as the second connection, second entrance into the subdivision and connect with the other part in future phases. We recommend approval. Planning with contingencies and planning comments, the signatures, and then the second comment, that should be revised note 24, not 14. There may be some confusion there. And it's basically there is a note. Note 24 says that lot 112 and 86, I believe, have no driveway access to Huntsville Browns Ferry Road. That's correct, and they shouldn't. It's just that the lots are 114 and 87, so they just need to change it to the right lots. And you see there's several engineering comments. It's my understanding that they're cleanup and minor adjustments, but Michelle is here if you have any questions on those, and it's the same for the fire comment.
All right, thank you. We'll open up for public comments. Seeing that there are none, comments from the commission?
Move to approve, subject to staff comments.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Riddle?
Aye.
Mr. Brooks?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Cottle?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
All right, at this point, public hearing is closed. We moved on to the site plan for Sherwin-Williams, site plan for 14,040 square foot commercial building on 1.84 acres. Is the applicant here in which to address the commission?
I'm sorry, Jim Webb. I really don't have anything to address. I was just here if you guys had any questions or answer anything that came up during the meeting.
All right, appreciate it. We'll have staff make their presentation and we'll see if we have any questions.
This property is on Cleghorn Boulevard. Sometime in the past, there was a certified plat done for this property, and it came before you. And basically, you can see the red line on this because this map hadn't been updated. And that was the old property line, and they bought, I guess, some of the property from the Pet Care Hotel and consolidated it into this property. And that was to prepare the property for this development. It's 1.84 acres. It's also Zone B3, and it's a 14,040 square foot building. They'll have 27 parking spaces, 2 detention ponds, 2 detention areas, 17 new trees, 145 new shrubs. The hours of operation will be 7 to 6 on weekdays and 7 to 1 on Saturdays. That's it. With that, we recommend approval. And the planning comment, our only one is verify interior parking spaces are at least 9 feet wide. And then engineering comments is provide the ADM permit and provide proof that the proposed underground storage, stormwater storage meets ADM requirements. That's it.
Comments from the commission?
I just have a question.
Yeah.
It's not relevant really to the decision, but isn't there one across the street?
That was going to be my question. Is that one closing?
Excuse me?
Yes, sir, you're both right. Doesn't he come up and address you?
Yeah, probably get you on microphone.
It's purely curiosity, but you know.
But that way, when we write the minutes, we have it on record.
Now I'm here. The one across the street is what they call a type 2 store. It's designed for residential. This is an industrial coating store designed for commercial use. They hold a whole different product line.
Oh.
It's kind of, yeah, it is kind of weird that they're that close, but yeah, they're totally 2 different stores marketing 2 different customers.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right.
So is there 1 or 2 entries into this?
There's just one.
Yeah, at the end of the cul-de-sac should be.
We're not quite at the end of the cul-de-sac. We're kind of like,
Yeah. next
we're at the
to
cul-de-sac, but yeah, right, yes, sir.
Or the animal clinic.
You see something?
I'm going to go to the main road here so you can kind of see the
All right.
Go to that other one, Johnny.
Go back to the.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah.
It just shows one there at the 3 o'clock
Right, I
position.
was trying to make sure that,
Is there a concern, or are we good?
no,
Okay.
good now.
All right. Do we have a motion?
I'll go 3 for 3. Move to approve. So you do.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Riddle?
Aye.
Mr. Brooks?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Cottle?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Under new business, we have performance bonds, Three Park Preserve Phase 1 amendment to the sidewalk bonds for $3,308.10.
That is correct.
All right.
So reduction, most of the sidewalks are in, so these are the lots. Basically what happens is the original bond is for all the sidewalks in the subdivision. When they do building permits, the sidewalks on that lot would be constructed with the building, with the building permit. So at this point, they go in and see what's left, and the bond is reduced just for those vacant lots that are left in there, and they get the rest of that back.
All right, thank you. Can I get a motion?
Move to approve.
Oh, I broke my streak.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Wesson?
Aye.
Mr. Ryder?
Aye.
Mr. Riddle?
Aye.
Mr. Brooks?
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Cottle?
Aye.
Ms. Palmer?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. And with that, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.